You are live. What's up, Adrian? What's up, Facebookies, YouTubers, and Twitter fingers or X fingers,
What's up?
whatever
What's
you
up?
want to
What's
call it
up?
now. What's
Yeah.
up, Adrian?
Oh, I'm chilling, man. Fired up, man. Had a good day. Ready to get into the show,
Okay. Look at you
Yeah.
already and stuff. Okay, what's up, y'all? I know y'all have been waiting. A lot of people been hitting me up like, "What's up with Hootie Who's Finest Talk Show? Where y'all at, man?" We had some stuff going on. One week, Adrian
Yeah.
had some stuff. Then the next week, I had some stuff. So we had to get it cleared up so we can get back out here.
Want to be able to serve you right. You know what I'm saying? Got to be right to serve you right.
Gotta be right now, Adrian. You got
Yeah.
to you got to give us a full view of that LA Lakers hat, though. That sucker is
Mm-hmm.
nice,
You
baby.
better know it. You better
Yeah,
know it. You know what I'm saying? You
put it
better
back.
know it.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
that
What
late
color
show.
is it? It look like it's silver and white.
It's all silver. That's just like kind of that's silver up there too, but
That's
it's just
that shiny silver. I could barely
yeah.
see. Okay.
You got
All
a nice
right.
little jacket go right along with it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's what I'm talking
We
about.
got a match.
Yeah, I was in my 49ers jacket earlier because it's that time of year. We're going to that championship game.
Woo! Green Bay boy almost had you put that thing on the shelf though. I'm like,
We'll get into
I'm
that
like, you was shaking in
later.
your boot.
We'll get into that a little later because I'm interested to know about Josh Allen and all the
Okay.
high hopes.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
anyway, so a lot of people has been hitting me up. I sent you some information. I know you heard about the Cat Williams interview on Club Shay Shay.
Yeah. Yeah. I did. I actually I watched the interview.
Yeah,
Was kind of surprised by how many people actually tuned into that interview. But last I checked, it was 38 million people, and that was a couple of weeks ago. So I would be surprised if he's got 50, 60 million views on that now.
listen, I checked today. He's at 50 million views. He has
Yeah.
literally broke the internet. They're calling it definitely YouTube. His
Yeah.
that is the most watched video on YouTube ever.
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 Wow. Wow. I was thinking maybe for the show on the Shay show, Shannon Strahan's show, but
Shannon
ever
Sharp.
I didn't expect that.
You just mixing all the football players up. It's Shannon Sharp.
Oh, I said Shanahan. Yeah, Shannon Sharp. Yeah,
Shannon
you're right.
Strahan.
Yeah, won. Yeah, he won a Super Bowl with Baltimore. Ray Lewis. I know him well. But yeah, Shannon Sharp. Yeah.
And he won in Denver too with Elway.
Yeah. Yep. Well, way. Yep.
That's actually where I remember him from. I remember him because Denver used to go up against Montana. Elway used to go up against Montana in Super Bowls.
Yeah.
And so that's where I remember Shannon Sharp from, really. But yeah, and I've actually watched some. After I looked at the Cat Williams, I looked at the Seth the Entertainer. I looked at the Steve Harvey.
Yeah, I did too. I did too. He really made me, got me just interested in that whole, industry. The
Yeah,
comedy. I love comedy.
me too.
Thinks
And I think that's why it's getting so many views because it's no color lines in comedy. Like there's no boundaries. Just because they're black comedians, all races, come out to see these comedians. And it's just, I don't know. It was kind of, for me, it was kind of heartbreaking in certain ways. Like Cedric the Entertainer, for instance, is one of my favorite. Not all of them that he named is my favorite, but
yeah.
Cedric the Entertainer, out of all of them that he named, is my favorite. And I was like,
Yeah.
stealing jokes? I wouldn't have
Yeah.
never thought. What you feel about that, Adrian? Do you feel, because some people is like twisted with it. For me, if
Yeah.
if if a comedian come up with a concept, right, and no matter how the next person twist it or make it, that's still kind of like plagiarism, isn't it?
Yeah. So I looked at Sid's video. I looked at Cat Williams' old video of him doing the skit with the joke him riding in the car, Cat Williams, with the
Right,
music up too loud versus Sid riding in a spaceship, with the
right,
music up, loud. There were some similarities, but to me, I believe that people steal from each other all the time. Whether it's beats, and writing plagiarism. So in life, so
right,
I've modeled myself off of men and women who I've met. If I see something positive and I can identify it, I will model it in my own life, right?
right,
But when this is your bread and meat. This is how you eat, you feed your family, you pay your rent, you pay your bills. It becomes a huge issue.
right,
Because now you're getting residuals, you're getting money because of something you stole from me. So
right,
for me, I saw the similarities. I don't completely agree with what Cat Williams, as far as said stealing his jokes. But of course, he's going to have a little bit more insight than me. He's in that industry. Like he said, he met Sid at one of his shows where he did the skit, and Sid actually commented on the skit. Um,
right,
from what Cat Williams said, said Cedric the Entertainer in his response did not acknowledge that he saw Cat Williams that day and complimenting him on the joke.
right,
That would have kind of like added another layer, a little bit more duplicity. Um, but he did not confirm that. And the jokes, they were similar, only in the loud music and said using a vehicle, which was a spaceship rather than a car in his
right.
bid.
Now, uh, let me take a pause break and say, what's up? What's up to our chat liners? They've been waiting for this conversation.
Let's
We
get
got
it.
Petey, we got cousin Petey. He say, "What's up, cousin? What's
Okay,
up,
what's up,
Petey?
cousin?
Welcome to Who the Who's Finest Talk Show." We got
Yeah.
our other cousin, Lil Betty, in the chat. We got Petey said, Lil Betty said hello. Petey say they do steal, but Cat said too much. He threw shade on a lot of comedians. Yes, he did. He did. Now, let me get back to real quick with something that you said, Adrian,
Yeah.
because I saw the clip with Cedric the Entertainer.
Yeah.
I know Kings of Comedy backwards. That's one of my favorite stand-ups. This is why I took it so personal. But I saw the one that Cat Williams did, and then I saw Kings of Comedy. Now, I mean, the one Cedric did, which was phenomenal at the end of his Kings of Comedy
Yeah.
tour. Um, so I did see the similarities, but when I first saw it, I was like, okay, Cat, but I don't, because it's like somebody sitting in the car and they got the gangster lean or whatever. Here, so I started investigating a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Because I really wanted to know, because I really like when you go to college. I didn't learn it really in high school or middle school, but I learned it going for my bachelor's and my master's, and I was talking to you dang near every day during this period. But
Yeah.
um, you learn about plagiarism. You will get kicked out. You have so many papers to do, and I don't care if you take something from what someone said and you put it in your own words, you still have to cite where you got that from. Like you still have to give those people that credit. So really plagiarism is really big in the educational field as well. So
Yeah.
when Cat Williams, was saying all this, that, and the other, and I just want to focus on Cedric right now, I started researching. And I found something or something. No, actually, someone actually sent me something because people be sending me all kind of stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
They knew we was going to talk about this show. So someone sent me a clip of this joke called By My Initials. It's called By My Initials, right? And
Yeah.
so it was like a sitcom, a black sitcom like in the 70s or the early 80s.
Yeah.
And the black guy on the sitcom did, he was telling the lady by my initials, and she couldn't understand what he was saying, but he was really saying by my initials, right? But she was
Yeah.
calling them abominicious. That's what it was. She was calling them abominicious, and he was
Yeah.
saying, call me by my initials. And he was saying, call me by my initials, but she said abominicious. Anyway, this
Yeah.
sitcom was in like the late 70s, early 80s, right?
Yeah.
Fast,
Oh, yeah. That's back in the days.
fast forward to early 2000s, said the entertainer doing a stand up.
Yeah.
He turned, now this is his stand up. It is so funny. He turns it all the way around. So he like, yeah, I was in the hood the other day and a cat came up to me, said, yeah, everybody call me by my initial. He said, everybody call me by my initials, right? So he said,
Yeah.
okay, by my initials, we gonna be hanging out later. Come on over by my initials. You gonna go get a beer? Go on and get a beer and come on back by my initials and kick it with us. So he said, my brother looked at me and said, why is you calling him that name? He told me to call him by my initials. He said, his name is CJ. He said, CJ? He said, no, he's telling you to call him by his initials.
Yeah. By his initials. Yeah.
So it was funny, but this joke was done decades.
Yeah. And it's resurfaced
And Cedric
in
the
something.
Entertainer stand-up comedy. Said did it
Is that right? Yeah.
in early 2000s. Now the
Is
same
that
joke,
right?
Dominations, was done on this black
Yeah.
sitcom
Yeah. Decades ago.
decades.
Wow.
So yeah, uh-huh.
Mm.
So I
Yeah.
did a little bit more digging in the Said the Entertainer. I love you, Said the Entertainer. Don't send your people after me to block me.
Oh man. Hey,
I
the truth hurt, man. The truth hurt, So we block that next time, he didn't, what I'm saying, got some big wigs to shut us down, but the
Make
truth
it.
hurt, man.
Listen. So I
Yeah,
did a little bit more digging. So I watched the Club Shay Shay interview with Cedric the Entertainer, and I watched it all
yeah,
the way through. I think he actually told on himself in that interview. And I don't think nobody else called it because I've been looking at stuff and ain't nobody on social media said anything about it, right?
yeah,
So he did his interview before Cat Williams' interview, right? And this is
yeah,
how Cedric the Entertainer Tree feels that he told on himself. Because I'm like
yeah,
a humbo. So in the interview, Shannon Sharp was asking him about what's up, y'all? I see you down there, my little chat liners. Toya's in the chat liner. What's up, y'all? They've been waiting on us to do this conversation.
come through,
Make
come
sure y'all
through.
subscribe out there, like, share our video. I always forget to say that. Subscribe, like, and share. If you've already subscribed, then like and share. All right.
There you go.
But anyway, let me get to this content right here because this is juicy. Cedric the Entertainer, I believe, told on himself on Club Shay Shay, and Shannon Sharp, you need to go back and look at it. You could call me on the show. I'll let you know. This is how he told on
Yeah,
himself. So Shannon Sharp asked him, he said, so what comedy how do you think today, comedy that you guys used to do back in the day would be affected today, right? So he was like,
Yeah.
Cedric the Entertainer says, oh, it would be really affected today because of all of the gay rights and all of this stuff. He said, Cedric the Entertainer said, me and he said, me and my peoples, we was looking at one of Eddie Murphy's stand-up comedies, either Delirious or Raw, right?
Yeah.
And he said, and we was looking at it and we was just like, nope, not that one. Nope, not that one. Nope, not that joke. Nope, not yeah.
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 But he's trying to say he said so no. He was like, no, so do you know once you take out everything that you can't say right now from Eddie Murphy stand up, Eddie Murphy is not that funny anymore. So
Yeah.
dawned on me after researching this, like, why was y'all watching Eddie Murphy stand up talking about no, not this one, no, not that one, can't use that.
Yeah. That's what that would lead. That would lead like anybody that got any sick common sense to kind of like, wait, hold on. You was trying to see what jokes you can kind of like
Yeah.
take and make your own. So yeah, I kind of see where you lead, where you coming from. Yeah.
Because see, his interview was done before Cat Williams let this cat out the bag, right? So no
Yeah.
one would have ever in the conversation they was talking about the jokes and how the old jokes would be interpreted right now. So no one would really be thinking like he was looking at it like, to steal the jokes. But now we got this information and I went back over the interview. What was you doing looking at Eddie Murphy stand? Now how many we done seen Eddie Murphy stand up comedy Delirious and Raw a million dang
100
on
times
times.
grew up off that. Still know some of the skits. Still use it
By
today.
heart,
That
by
ain't no McDonald's. You
by
know what I
the
mean?
Boo lady, the Boo
Yeah.
lady. Come on now.
Yeah.
Why
Yeah.
is
Pull over. Pull over. You know what I mean? Yeah. I still remember that stuff. Yeah.
no, you owe me a D. You owe me
Hmm.
money a D.
Yeah.
But anyway, though, why is Cedric the Entertainer and his people going over Eddie Murphy's old? Now go look at Club Shay Shay and find Cedric the Entertainer's interview. He plainly said, yeah, because me and my people, we was watching the Eddie Murphy stand-up old stand up, and we was like, nope, not that one. Nope,
Yeah.
not that
Yeah.
one. What are you talking about, Sam?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, he been
Well,
baby.
one thing. I mean, I will say is that I would think that if you're in any line of work profession, you're gonna always look at the competition. You're gonna always look at who did it before you to kind of make certain comparisons, and to be a better you know professional in that whatever field that you choose to go into, right? So I can see him researching, because even Cat Williams, he said it, he do his research for like different reasons, I mean, let him tell you, he want to put you on blast, he gonna
Listen,
put you out there, right? He's
listen,
gonna
Cat
expose,
Williams.
the industry for what it is.
Yes.
But so some people, comedians in that field, they do it for research to kind of study some of the greats, their mannerisms, whatever it may be, how to, that climax of a joke, to bring the people all the way up there, and
Listen,
to
the
finish the joke, to end the
entertainer is
joke.
already great. He don't need to be studying no other people, Adrian. I
Yeah,
understand you trying to make it soft, but let's keep it real. He's already a great. This man been a comedian for decades now. Hold up,
yeah,
we
yeah.
got some more chat liners up in here. We got
What
Toya
they
in the
talking
house.
about? What they talking about?
Toya said, Adrian, glad you back and feeling better.
Oh, yeah, I'm here. Thank,
I'm
thank, thank
not
you.
playing. He
Yeah,
feeling better. I'm feeling better too. No.
yeah,
We got a little bleep in the house. Birdface Calloway. He said, knock it off. Okay. He said, he said, knock it off. Cat told the real. Cat did tell the real, but Cat lied about some stuff too, and I'm gonna get into that. Shayna in the
yeah.
house. What's up, Shay Shay? Congratulations, Echo. She just had her first little boy after having her
Yeah.
daughter years ago. She started all
Yeah.
over. Shayna said, just like how Steve Harley stuff. Yes, we're gonna get into that too. But okay, so let's get on off of Cedric the Entertainer. Let's go to Jeff. Since Shayna brought up Steve Harvey, child,
Yeah.
Adrian, Steve Harvey. Well, you know, honestly, I'm gonna just be real. I didn't know Steve Harvey was stealing people jokes, and it looked like he's a big fan of Mark Curry's. That man,
Yeah.
that
Okay.
man, he's still stealing
Well,
Mark Curry,
well, Mark Curry from Mr. Cooper, right?
hanging with Mr. Cooper.
Yeah. Yeah.
He stole a joke that Mark Curry said on Def Jam or Comedy Jam, one of them back in the day. Steve
Yeah.
Harvey
Yeah.
just said that same joke on his talk show maybe a couple of years ago. The exact same joke.
And
Mark
did not credit Mark Curry with the joke.
No, he said it at his. And so Mark Curry said this joke, and he said this was a real life story from him. He said
Yeah.
at Halloween time, his parents used to make them wear cardboard boxes for their costume because they couldn't afford a costume. And he said he got tired of wearing a cardboard box and basically was like, "What I'm gonna tell people I am?" And his daddy was like, "Tell them UPS, you're a UPS man."
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty funny. That's pretty. Hey, it's funny because it's like parallels to a lot of our lives wearing the sheets, the makeup or whatever we had, to
Exactly,
go
because
out.
we all was a
Yeah.
ghost, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Mark Curry told this joke in like the 90s, right? Or the 80s or whatever. Steve Harvey tell the same exact joke as if it was him on
Yeah.
his talk show. Like, yeah, my daddy made us dress up in cardboard boxes every year for Halloween and people was like, oh, he was like, yeah, this is real. People was like, oh, he was like, no, I was okay. I just told people I was a UPS worker.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Of course,
Mark
I know that
Curry
got a big laugh.
So Mark Curry said some people he went on a talk show or something and they asked him about it. He said some of his people contacted him and he said and I was mad as heck at Steve Harvey. And the man said, "What was you mad at?" He was like, "Cause that bitch already got money." Excuse me. He already got money. Why are you stealing
Yeah.
from me? Why are you stealing my stuff? Why are you taking food off of my plate?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Well, the man said, "Well, have you seen her?" He's like, "Yeah, I saw him. I saw him at the 50 something, a comedian 50-year award ceremony." He said,
Yeah.
did you confront him? He said, "Ask him." Mark Curry. Oh my God. So Steve Harvey been stealing too. What is
Yeah.
Bleep said Bernie Mac is the greatest. Bernie Mac was good. He's still
Yeah.
in the
Absolutely.
homosexual
Absolutely.
shit. Yeah, he stole a lot of stuff from Mark Curry, come to find out. Now,
Yeah.
what do you think about what Cat Williams said that what do you think he wasn't telling the truth about?
Um. Well, one thing about Cat Williams, when he speak, and that's why I believe that he got so many views. He's a very dynamic, speaker.
Right.
His vocabulary is like, is off the hook. He has a way of drawing you in,
Yeah.
and then he throw in a little controversy, right? You
Mm-hmm.
know, um, some of the things he said, I believe, wholeheartedly that he truly believed that Cedric the Entertainer stole his joke. Like I say, he's in that industry, so he has some insights that I don't have, right? You
Right.
know, but to pair them all together, and he was throwing so many different comedians out there that he's from what was the guy that Faison? I mean, Steve Harvey, said
You a fat
D.L.
Faison.
Hughley. He just
You a fat
yeah, he shitted
Faison.
on all of them. You know what I'm saying? He just
Well, he
like threw it
said
all
he loved.
out
He
there.
said
Like,
DL is a. He just. He said DL is a goat. He said he cool with DL.
yeah, well, he did throw a little shade on DL too,
A
because he
little bit.
said that DL was a part of that in collusion with these other guys, other comedians, to kind of shut him down. You
Yeah.
know, but people love controversy, and one thing about Cat Williams, how he do his comedy, he don't need like the mainstream media necessary. You know what I'm saying? He kind of got that grassroots type following, you know what I'm saying, that people love him from the street level on up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he don't need to kiss ass, you know what I'm saying, to the main media industry, you know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
I think he was on point with a lot of things that he said. You know,
Well,
it's shameful, but it's believable too,
right. It's a lot of stuff that he said, and we're gonna get more into the black comedians and have to wear dresses before they make it for some reason. But what so what I was looking for was somebody to come out and say that Cat Williams was lying, right? And one thing that we
Yeah.
haven't heard was any of the people that he brought up, and I've researched it. I haven't heard nobody say Cat Williams is lying about that. He's not telling
Yeah.
the truth. But
Well,
one
said
person,
did I know Cedric responded.
they all
It was a short
responded.
response.
They all
It was a
responded.
short response. I
But he
think
did.
Steve Harvey made a post about it because, like like you, it drew me. Like I say, Cat Williams has the ability to really draw you in, right? So he drew me in, and I found myself looking at old videos, old interviews, just to kind of like find out what was going on in other people's
Oh,
takes
Adrian,
on it.
look at
Yeah,
my journal. You bored my right hand. You better go there.
yeah, and I was surprised by some of the responses because he's not necessarily that a mainstream artist as say a Cedric the Entertainer or Steve Harvey. So I was
Right.
surprised that he did get responses from those comedians.
Oh,
Though it
they
was
had
so
to.
many views, he
They
got so
had
many
to.
views and so many followers that it would have been like
They had to say
if
something.
they had not responded,
Yeah.
it would have been seen as a truth, and they could have
Exactly.
lost that credibility, from the street level because
Yeah.
comedy is it's like basketball, it's like rap, you know what I'm saying? That's a culture that we created, you know what I'm saying, as black people.
Yeah. And well, one person did come out and say Cat Williams wasn't telling the truth about some of the stuff. However, and Cat Williams had this person back. However, he did say Cat Williams, the majority of the stuff Cat Williams was telling the truth about. And this person was Ice Cube. Ice Cube did a live and basically said that, um, you know, he said that he loved all the comedians that he's ever worked with. He said, and he put everybody in their role
Yeah.
that he felt was good for that role. So that actually contradicted Ricky
Cat
Smiley.
Williams. Yeah.
It actually contradicted Ricky Smiley too, because Ricky
Yeah.
Smiley was saying he was supposed to play the pimp role, Money Mike role in Last Friday.
Yeah.
Cat Williams was saying he was not supposed to play that role, right? And so Ice Cube basically said, no, everybody played the role that I wanted them to play. But Ice Cube did say, he did say that Ricky Smiley did try out for Money Mike role like he did, like he said he did, but
Yeah,
he
yeah,
wasn't supposed to play the role. So Ricky Smiley kind of fibbed about that part. Cat Williams fibbed about. He said on Club Shay Shay, Cat Williams said that he went to the producers and told them not to let a black man get raped on the show. He said Ricky Smiley was good with the black man getting raped. He said, but I'm the one that went to the producers. So Ice Cube, you could tell Ice Cube kind of got a little offended about that because he said, I would never make a movie. If you know my movies, I would
yeah,
never make a movie with a black man getting raped on the movie. That was not in the script. Cat is
yeah,
not telling the truth about that part. He ain't went to nobody. And then Ice Cube basically said very humbly, however, if I did put that in the script, wouldn't no actor be able to tell me to take it out?
yeah, yeah. He's paying the bills. It's
Yeah.
his movie. It's his.
How you gonna come to me and tell me to change the script? He like, no, that is not
Yeah,
what happened with that part. So in some parts, Cat Williams was telling the truth, but Cube went live and contradict and said, yeah, some of that and gave discrepancies to some of that stuff. Now,
yeah.
I
Well, I didn't see the Ice Cube interview, but like I say, that's his franchise. That's his franchise, and I'm more ready to believe what he has to say. Over Cat Williams.
exactly. He ain't got
Yeah.
to
You know.
you don't have to lie. But Cat Williams did have Cube back because a lot of those actors complain about the pay that they're getting paid from Cube. And Cat Williams
Yeah.
basically like, Cube is doing this out of his own pocket. And y'all complaining about the pay. Where are y'all now from when y'all first, he put y'all on the map. He got a lot of y'all started. Nobody even knew y'all before y'all was in these movies. So he
Yeah.
had Cube back, and Cube appreciated that part. And Cube did say, out of all the people and comedians that he put in movies, nobody has ever asked him to be in one of their movies. He said, my number's
Wow.
still the same. Out of everybody I done put
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
movies, nobody has reached out to me to be in any of their movies. And I think that says something right there. Cause he didn't play with all of them. Kevin Hart, Mike Epps, he didn't play with all of them basically. So
Yeah. Terry Crews. Yeah.
yeah, he didn't play with all of. Okay, so I want to get your opinion on this part, Adrian. I know you heard what
What's
Cat
up?
Williams had to say about the comedians and the black actors having to wear dresses in Hollywood. Do you think Hollywood is trying to, what is it called, demasculate the black actors, take their manlyhood from them, or make them look soft?
Well, this is something that has been, in the film industry for years. I think Robert Towns and them, they try to expose it with I'm gonna get you no Hollywood Shuffle, right? Well, Hollywood Shuffle with black actors taking these demeaning roles. Either you're a dope dealer, you're a pimp, you're in jail, you're robbing somebody, you with some type of criminal activity, right? You know what I'm saying? And now you bring in a component of homosexuality with the dresses, right?
Right.
And you had a lot of actors, they would take these roles on, knowing that they demean black people, but a lot of their retort or reasons were this got my foot in the door.
Yeah.
Let me get my foot in the door, and then I make these decisions myself. You know, to me, I don't necessarily think that applies. Because you're painting a whole, race of people in a certain way, because that's how people see us from what
Mm-hmm.
they see on television. From
Right.
early on the step and fetching days, until now, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think it's on the actor as individuals say, look, I'm not going to do that,
Right.
and you have blacks trying to get into the industry and they're willing to compromise themselves to get in, so
Yeah.
me seeing, black men, in dresses, it was very offensive, as a black man to see another brother wearing a dress, like, man, that's not funny to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, I wholeheartedly agree with Cat Williams, and it's not any homophobia on my part. I just think that, we as black people, we're not on that silver stream as much. So when we're on there we're representing, the culture, even though a lot of people don't feel like that. I'm not, you got a lot of ball players. People say, look, I'm not a role model, man, and I understand that too, but the things you do reflect upon the community that you come from.
Right, right. And that's the truth. I mean, for me, I definitely see it as that. I remember remembering my grandmother saying something about this back in the day. They made Flip Wilson wear a
Yeah.
dress. And I remember them talking about that, and I didn't really pay attention to it. But when Kat brought it up, it had came up before, but never really paid attention to it like that. All of them done wore a dress. All of these comedians done wore a dress. Like, let me
Yeah.
share this picture real quick.
And to me, I think it comes down to a personal decision that you've made to wear a dress. You've made this conscientious decision to wear a dress, for your own reasons, for financial gain or whatever it may be. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I see. Yeah.
All of them. Arsenio, Tyler Perry, Damon Wayans, yeah, Jamie
Kevin
Foxx,
Hart, Jamie
Kevin.
Foxx, yeah.
I
Will
don't know
Smith, that's Will
what
Smith.
happened with this, and I forgot
Yeah.
Chris Tucker.
Yeah.
And
Well,
this said,
that was in the Fifth Element. Well, with the Chris Tucker, right? That was really in the Fifth Element, and his character was very eccentric. So you got to give him a pass on that. I would,
because you like
anyway.
the Fifth Element, Adrian. I ain't thinking about you. I'm like, I like the Fifth Element too. He did good. He did good.
Yeah.
But the
He actually
thing
played an
about
eccentric type character in that movie, and it was like it was a futuristic movie, so it was a sci-fi.
I
So
love
you got aliens in the movie, all type of stuff. So I wouldn't just
Bruce
say, oh, he
Willis
wore a
was in
dress
the
or anything.
movie. Bruce Willis was in the movie.
Yeah, Uma Thurman was in that movie.
Yeah.
It was a pretty, I liked the movie, but I just played an eccentric character, then just, man, I'm gonna put on a dress and parade around like, mocking my own culture, to me that
Well,
was a lot different. Yeah.
well, I forgot about that. But it's the
Yeah.
same thing. He put on a dress. He put on
Yeah. Did they have somebody there to put on a dress too?
you going in and out. Did they have who?
Wesley Snipes.
Yes. And one what is it, Wu Tufu? He was on there
Yeah,
too.
yeah. Something like that.
I didn't
I've
even
never
know
seen that movie. Yeah.
I didn't even know Cedric the Entertainer put on a dress.
Yeah.
Adrian, you getting stuck.
Yeah. Actually, I'm looking up. Yeah. Let me see.
Move your Wi-Fi, probably. Okay, talk. Testing.
How we looking?
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
You
Okay,
got
there
like
you
a
go.
there you go. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. It's still spotty though,
Yeah. Well, I knew you felt was gonna feel strong about the part about the black putting these all these black men in dresses. I don't understand why black men or comedian have to do a role with a dress in order to make it in Hollywood. Petey said he did in a Steve Harvey show when he was Grandma Pudding. Exactly, that's the Cedric the Entertainer put on a dress too in the Steve Harvey show. I had never
Yeah,
known that Cedric the Entertainer had put on a dress, but Lord have mercy, I didn't know Kevin Hart had did it. I mean, it goes
yeah,
back to how much what would you do? What would you do for millions? That's what it seemed like to me. Is that what it seemed like to you, Adrian? Like they come up with this, like just like what Cat Williams said. He said ludicrous. I mean, when you look at Ludacris' life after Fast and Furious, Ludacris ain't had to make no more money, and he living good.
yeah. And so to me, I think it's it becomes a conscientious decision upon a person in that industry. Like you say, you've established yourself. You're making good money. You take on a role that's demeaning. It has no cultural value. It doesn't have a message that's positive to the audience that you're targeting, other than a laugh. Is Does that outweigh your own moral value? You know, um,
Right.
you know. So to me, I think it's a conscientious decision that these comedians make to put on a dress for their own reasons. And there may be certain undertones to it. I don't think that they're necessarily for the money or for a laugh.
I think it's for the status. I think that is really deep. I think that is really deep. I was looking at Dr. Boyce Watkins and been looking at certain things with him, and he did a little research on how Hollywood actually got started. How the Jews started Hollywood. Hollywood was never
Yeah,
meant for black folks. It was never meant for us, and that's why they still running that industry. The Jews are still running that industry, but they never created it for us. And so that's why, and we're going to get into this. I'm going to send you some stuff on this. I want to talk about this the next time. How um black women especially is not getting paid what the same prices as white women in Hollywood. And why do we
yeah,
have that?
yeah,
Why do we have that? And I want to get into that because, you got certain people that's in higher places like Oprah Winfrey and Tyler Perry and different people. And it's out there that they're not looking out for our people. It's out there that they
yeah.
just like getting over on black actors out there and actresses. So I want to dig deep into that, but I think it's something to be talked about with our black comedians right now. Who is presenting them? Because Chappelle did an interview with Oprah Winfrey years ago when after
Yeah.
he did the movie Blue Streak with Martin Lawrence, and he said that they wanted him to wear a dress. He came to the studio, and in his trailer, he thought he was in the wrong trailer because there was a dress there. He said they
Yeah.
come in like, oh, we thought of this funny scene with Martin breaking you out of the jail, and he's gonna have you disguised as a prostitute. And he was like, no. He said like
Yeah.
20 people tried to talk him into wearing this dress. And Chappelle was like,
Of
I'm not
course.
putting
Of
on no
course.
dress. I'm not putting on no dress.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just like you said, if they take their stand, Chappelle still paid. He's still worth millions. And he ain't never
Hmm.
wore no dress.
Yeah.
He ain't never wore no dress, but it's just interesting to see how this is still happening. And I remember my grandmother them talking about how they made Flip Wilson back in the day wear a dress in order to
Yeah,
be on
where is that?
in order to be, that person. He had to act like a woman.
Yeah.
And and another thing too is, let's just say hypothetically speaking, these numbers is off. You got 100 black actors, right, in Hollywood. To that 100 black
Okay.
actors, you got 1,000 white male actors, right?
Yeah.
All of this 100 gotta wear a dress. This 1,000 over here, you might got two or three of them that wore a dress.
Yeah.
Why is that? Why do they want to see black men in dresses versus white men?
Yeah. Yeah.
If
To
it's so,
to, to me, it's exactly what you say. It's demasculating. It put us in a not necessarily a subservient role,
mm-hmm.
but to me it's demeaning to black women,
Yeah,
to a degree,
it is.
um,
It
and
is.
and it's just a way to perpetuate, you know, um, the idiocy that certain actors are willing to go and compromise themselves to make a dollar to be on the big screen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so of course, yeah, they're going to use it because we live in a very racist system. We would like to think that everything is equal, and yeah, you can go on a big screen and you can do this and you can do that, and it's fine, right? But number shows, statistics shows, we see it, that there's not that type of equality within the industry,
Right.
so you coming along and have this door open for you, it's incumbent upon you to you know show the culture in a positive light,
That's
rather
right.
than something that's demeaning, and
Right.
takes away from black people, as a culture, as a people, and yeah,
It,
they fall to the
oh,
pressure, to all the yes men and yes women. Oh yeah, go ahead and do it, and they pump them up and they get them up there, and to me, you've compromised yourself in some kind of way. And
it's
now, with Cat Williams, with this interview, a lot of the stuff it has began to come on the roots for some of these actors, because now we're talking about it. The internet's talking about it. People are talking about it in their homes,
yeah.
and we're starting to see them for what they are. Parades within the culture.
Yeah, and it's a twofold too. Just like what you said, it's demeaning to women because they create these characters and then they put these black men in these women characters, but they are toe up like they ugly women. Like
Yeah,
it's now, don't get me wrong, it's some men that's trainees, drag queens, can do makeup better than any woman that I know. That you
yeah,
can't even tell a difference. So
yeah,
why when they put these men on camera as women, why do they make them so terrible looking women? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like it just brings the black woman look down. It makes
yeah,
it's like that's how they feel we look. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of
yeah,
weird. They never make the black man. Look at Wesley Snipes and one two woo two foo, whatever it's called. He was looking terrible. I mean, when
yeah,
you think about Jamie Foxx with the big lips and the cross eyes, and Martin as Shanae, it just looked terrible. Terrible. They don't make them look good as beautiful women like they could. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's a twofold to it. But we are going to get into that. I'm happy. I wanted to get your opinion on it. I know our viewers wanted to get our opinion on it. It's something that's out there. We probably gonna dive deeper into it
yeah,
if something else come back up. But I want to just say, like, I'm surprised that, the comedians is stealing from each other, and hopefully they can get together and do a big show and do their own jokes one day together.
Yeah, yeah,
That
yeah,
would be great. But right now we gotta move into some NFL. Hey,
yeah, yeah.
hey, hey.
Hey, let's get it. Let's get it. Well, I want to say one thing before we leave this topic because, with some artists, there's a lot of leeway. Like you mentioned Martin, right? He created Shanae. You look at Tyler Perry, he created Medea, right? You look at Eddie Murphy, he's created a multitude of characters, right? And he dressed up as a woman.
Yeah,
When to me, when you create a character and that character add content, a context, a texture to what you're doing to your movie and to
yeah,
your art form, then yes, it is funny. It is, a certain art form. But
yeah,
when it becomes demeaning, when this prostitute, you playing a black prostitute, or you playing a character that's disheveled and doesn't keep herself up, you begin to demean black women. You begin to demean black men, and the culture as a whole. To me, it's almost comparative to when I hear, say, a white person, that's not necessarily from, because you got some white folks that, from the neighborhood, we got homies that's white, right? I'm saying? I treat them like brothers, I'm
that's
saying? Because
good.
they are my brothers, right? I'm
All
saying? But when a white person come to you and say, oh yeah, girl, I feel you. You come from, you know, Brentwood, I'm saying? Lakewood. You ain't never been around a black person, but all of a sudden you're around a black person and you begin to use slang. To
right.
me, that's comparative to what they're doing, um, when they dress and as women, as black women, and it's demeaning towards black women.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. When you said that, I didn't actually think about that part of it until you said it. It is very, because when you look at those characters, I mean, even like with, you know, you like Medea is somebody's grandmother, so I could understand that character. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not a character that's demeaning.
He built that character. He built that
Yeah,
character that, like I said, there was actual texture to that character,
yeah.
and people didn't
We,
see
we
him
can
as a
all
man dressed
relate
up
to.
as a woman, you
Yeah,
know.
we can.
Yeah,
It's Medea is a person that we can all relate to, right? And but when you compare it to like a Shanae, Shanae is funny. Martin was funny with him. Martin is my other favorite comedian, and I'm happy Cat Williams didn't
yeah.
introduce
He's
Martin.
like actually my favorite comedian too.
I know that's but when
He's
you
one of
look
my
at
favorites.
Shanae, Shanae was hood. You know what I'm saying? But it
Yeah,
fit into the skit. It fit into the role. But he played a he. It doesn't take from. He played a woman that was like a demeaning person, like a hood ghetto fabulous person, which ended up being real good. But I think overall, when we look at it and we understand that this is something that Hollywood, the white people, is putting out there. This is
yeah,
what they are putting out there. This is what they want out there. Why is my
yeah,
question? Why?
yeah.
What is
They want to draw. They want to direct and dictate the culture, and one thing I have seen, there's so many independent um, black film studios that are doing their own thing. So they may not have the big productions and all the money behind them, but they're starting to do their own thing and get away from the Hollywood way of doing things,
right?
which is not necessarily conducive to a positive image of a black person.
Right. And we're going to go deeper into that next week. I want to talk about um, black folks that's into the entertainment industry and their pay and how they're getting paid, the independent films and different things like that. We also going to have a special guest come on, and I'll call you in probably a couple of days. Get you to call me back because I know you're busy, and we'll talk more about it. He's an entrepreneur. He's a KC police officer out here. He's a black man. He's young, and he's created his own shoe line. Um, Doing an amazing job in
That's what's up.
Walmart.
I like that.
He got cleats, and he got for the soccer people, the soccer team in Kansas City. So we're
Yeah.
gonna we're gonna get him on the show. He's a black man and he's very intelligent for his age. And so we're just gonna ask him some questions, pick his brain, and let him tell our viewers and show them how he made it and how they can make it. And he still working, still doing police work, but he's planning to retire early. He ain't planning
Yeah.
to retire like at a retirement age. So he just, I want him to come on here and talk to other. I know we got some people from our community that have their own clothing line. Teach them
Yeah.
how to
Yeah.
get them in Walmart, get them into the department stores. So that's
Yeah.
going to be interesting. We'll have him on here for a couple of minutes, but I do want to tackle into Hollywood pay with black actors and actresses a little bit. And I'll send you some stuff on that. All right.
Okay. All right. Look
All
forward to
right. So we got a few minutes. We only got what? A couple of teams left. What's going on in football in your
it. What,
head?
14?
In this big widget of yours. What's going
Well,
on?
yeah, this thing it is pretty big,
Yeah,
but
tell you what's
so
going on. No, because hold, because nephew Eagles is gone, and I don't know what all these high hopes, all these black men been hitting me up about Buffalo Bills for. Like, it started with you, Adrian. You got our viewers. Yeah.
what?
It started with you and this Josh Allen character. You was
Okay.
talking about how good he is and this, that, and the other. And if he stopped turning it over and this, that, and the other. And so the next thing I know,
Yeah.
about 10 black men is going against KC for the Bills.
Yeah.
Yeah. And all of y'all
Well,
lost. All of
well,
y'all lost. Static
you know,
lost. Art
well,
lost.
you gotta know this, right? We as human beings, right? We have this innate desire to root for the underdog. You know what I'm saying? We want to see the underdog triumph, right? So I think that was kind of, maybe a component for a lot of people, right? Because even though I spoke well, on Josh Allen, I think he's a great player, great quarterback.
He is.
I was going for KC. I was going for KC all the way. You know what I'm saying? I mean, now me and you got something going on. Now, I was going for that game. I was going for KC. Now for the Frisco game, I think y'all got real lucky. I think y'all, I was going for Jordan Love. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got lucky. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got some love from Love because he threw y'all two key interceptions.
Let me keep my composure when I say this, Adrian.
Y'all got some love from Love, though. You got to say that.
First off, let me start by saying this to sum it all up, and I'm going to go back over it. A win is a win, and we done moved on. Now, let me go ahead and say this. In your defense, Adrian, we didn't play our best, right? We did not. But one thing that I got to tell you what we did do, we showed heart. We took all the love and put it in our heart. Took the love out of Green Bay and put it right
Yeah.
here because we came
Mm-hmm.
back. What we showed was Brock Purdy can come back after being down. A lot of quarterbacks can't do that. None of them can't
Yeah.
do that. None of them can't do it. I don't even know
Yeah.
if your boy Jackson can do it, but we about to
Oh,
see
you
coming
go.
up
Well,
Sunday.
look.
We
He.
about to see coming up Sunday. Remember what you said? Yeah. Get humble. Get humble. Get humble. We about to see. One thing that I can say is the 49ers did not play a good game. And thank goodness Green Bay made the mistakes that they made because
Yes.
it allowed us to win. I can't just sit back and say we did this, that, the other. We did not. And I was upset about that. I was not happy. It looked like I had never really seen Brock Purdy clam up. And it looked like when he almost threw that interception in the beginning, he got kind of scared to throw.
Yeah.
And I
That
think,
yeah. That
um,
is. That's very
I
psychological right there.
yeah, and I think he got
Practice.
scared, and that was my first time seeing him get scared. But it was a big game. One thing that I can say about him is that um, in the second half, maybe the last quarter, he came alive. That last drive down there, that showed like you could
Yeah.
do
That
this.
was. That was. That
You
was a great drive. Yeah. That was a
Yeah,
great
you could
drive.
do this, and it should have showed him like gave him that confidence. Like, look, you could do this. So I do think that it just lined up in our favor. It's meant for us to go on to get that ring this year. So we on our way to the championship, and we're gonna do this thing. Now, who do
Mm-hmm.
you got against the Lions and SF?
I actually um I don't want to be no hater, right? You know what I'm saying? But I like the momentum of the Lions. I just love their momentum. They
You
have a momentum that's and the camaraderie within that team from because a lot of those players they've been they're young players that a lot of them signed new contracts. They're in the
know.
locker room. They've come up and built this team with a
Hmm.
bunch of new guys. They didn't build around say one player. They built an entire team, and now they've come together at the time that they need to come together as a
Right.
unit. And I believe that's going to be hard to defeat.
Yeah.
And so I'm going with the Lions.
Well, one thing that I can say in the Lions' defense is that they are very hungry. It's definitely going to be a good game because, as you know, San Francisco is very hungry as well. Um, I think that these last games, and I've said this before, maybe earlier today, but I think these last games is not so much of the players and what they
Yeah.
did in in the season. These last games is like chess matches with the coaches. All they need is the players to do their job and play their position at the best of their ability. The plays, the position that these coaches put these players in is what is going to matter. The defense, the is gonna matter. And that's one thing that the San Francisco 49ers I got kind of upset about at them this last game. The defense actually has been declining, and we need to pick it
Yeah.
back up. We need to
Yeah.
turn it back up because we're giving away too many points. The defense has been declining, and we need to turn it all the way back up. Especially if we're gonna get to the ring. We got to turn that defense up. I do think that Detroit is hungry. I think that their fan base is very hungry. They ain't been there since what, the 70s or the 60s or something.
The 60s, I believe, late 60s, I believe they said. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So they are very hungry. However, with that being said, I don't think that they're going to beat the 49ers. I don't think their coach can beat Kyle Shanahan. We've already proven that we got their number. They are a non-factor to us. The factor to us is the game that's the other game. That's what we got our eyes on. They are non-factors. Now this other
So,
this
I used a term last week. I'm gonna use another term. I mean, last time we were on here, I said, chicken in the hand is better than two in the bush, right?
Mhm.
So now it seems like you're putting the buggy before the horse. You have to win this game before you even think about Lamar Jackson or Kansas City. But
Adrian,
in my
listen,
humble opinion, of course.
listen to what I'm telling you. We are going to beat Detroit. And I hate to see it for Detroit fans, right? Even though I don't know not one,
Okay.
but you right now.
No.
But
Well, I'm an
oh,
NFL fan, so
and
I am a
Eminem,
Detroit fan.
Eminem and his daughter as a Detroit Lion. That's the only person I know. Anyway,
Yeah, probably
um,
Kid Rock or something. Your Browns have
where your
lost
camera
connection.
go? Where your camera go? But Detroit is
Um,
beat the
can you hear
49ers.
me?
I can hear you, but I can't see you. And
I
that
don't know. It
just
says I
that
don't know
just
what
showed
the
you the
heck that is.
49ers are gonna win because Detroit can't
Oh,
see us. Where you go?
I heard that.
Turn your camera back on. There you go.
Okay, it was tripping.
All right. So yeah, so Adrian, don't put no money on Detroit. They're not going we listen, we in the Bay too. We're not going to
Yeah,
Detroit. We in the Bay. We at home.
yeah. Levi Stadium, right? Santa Clara.
Candlestick, we're not losing.
Yeah.
I'm
Well,
telling it might
Candlestick. What you talking about, Candlestick? Now, y'all in Levi, Candlestick.
they
That's
changed it. Didn't it used to be
yeah.
candlestick?
No,
Okay.
Levi Stadium. Uh, yeah, it's Levi Stadium, right?
No.
Because that's you guys have had that stadium for maybe about 4 years now, about 3-4
They
years.
changed it.
Yeah,
It
Levi
used
Stadium is state of the art. I'm talking about that thing is beautiful and it's huge. It
yeah, I
has
want to see it.
it has restaurants,
Yeah, Levi Stadium.
a hotel in there. I
I
think they
want
got a
to go see
casino in
it.
there. Yeah, that
Never
and the
Monday.
jumbotron. It only rivals the Dallas Cowboys stadium.
What about the Raiders? They got a nice one too. Or is this better?
Oh yeah, that new one. Yeah, I gotta see that next time when I go to Vegas. I haven't
Have
been
you
yet.
been to the 49ers stadium? I want to go.
Yes, so I have been there. It was out of season, but I went there and I toured it with a group of people
Yeah.
that I met out here. So they had some inside connections, and I was invited.
The
It
tour
was
the
beautiful.
Denver Broncos stadium. We toured the Denver
Oh, is that
Broncos.
right?
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
But it ain't nothing like ours. It ain't got all that. Anyway, all right, let's get to this next game. So you going with the Ravens or the Chiefs?
I'm absolutely going with Lamar Jackson. You know what I'm saying? To me, I think Lamar Jackson, because he's one of those guys. He's so underestimated, right? You know what I'm saying? And for
Really?
me, I've seen a focus. His focus is
Hmm.
so like keen right now that I don't believe nothing can knock him off his square. I believe
Really?
he's so focused and so enthralled in his profession at this point in time that no one can stop him. You
Well,
know,
I do
I
think that
I just see that in him. He's not going to allow any of the pundits, none of that. Get distract them, get in his way. I got Baltimore all the way against KC.
well, one thing that I can say is I do feel the hungriness in him. I feel the focusedness. He has, for me, this season evolved from a running back to a real quarterback. That I can say. He is throwing the ball, they
Yeah.
are catching it, right? He is very
Mm-hmm.
focused. He has help.
Focus.
He has help around him. They've played very well. My only concern with this game with him is that it's not even Patrick Mahomes, right? Because Patrick Mahomes is in a league by himself. He gonna do his thing, no matter what. Whether he gonna go hard, he gonna do his thing. But the reason why I don't think the Ravens is gonna win is Andy Reid. I don't think that their coach can outbeat Andy Reid. And I think that that's going to play a huge part in this upcoming game. I don't think it's going to be a really match for with even though the players are playing. But
Yeah.
I think the calls that are being made, and if you notice in the last games, the calls were very critical in a lot of those games. The at the goal line, a lot of those games came with the calls, and I don't know which one of those coaches. I got to go back over my notes, but one of them made a bad call, and it just didn't work out. So I think it's going to come down to these coaches, what Andy Reeves and the Ravens, whichever coach is making those calls,
Yeah.
you're gonna have to outbeat Andy Reeves. And I think that's one of the biggest issues. The Chiefs is
Yeah.
now connecting. They're now
They
connect
they
they're
well,
connecting.
they are. The offensive line is playing good, protecting Mahomes. He's getting them to. He don't have as many weapons as he. Once he lost um what I forget the guy that he played for Miami now. Once he lost him that big
Tyreek,
ball play, Kyrie, what's his name?
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill. So that big play ball has kind of diminished for
But they won a
KC,
championship since
and
they lost
they
Tyreek.
did right. So, but with Baltimore, right, I don't see KC having a ball in Mahomes' hands, and Mahomes need that ball to win.
Right.
Baltimore is going to take at least for out of each quarter. I see them taking at least 7.5 to 8 minutes off the clock just with their plays. So I don't believe that Mahomes is going to even get the ball as much as he's used to getting it and being able to control the game from the quarterback position. And that's going to be the biggest challenge with for KC. And like I say, um, Lamar Jackson is just completely focused. And
So so is your reason
that's
for
gonna be
thinking
that's gonna
that
be the catalyst.
is your reason for thinking that Baltimore is going to have the ball for that large amount of time? Is your reason for thinking that is solely based on Lamar Jackson?
Oh no. So of course, they got a solid running back, they got a solid offensive line, and they do he will throw that deep ball, but I see him just managing that clock to the point where you're not giving Mahomes the ball 2-3 times in one quarter.
Mm-hmm.
I see Mahomes getting the ball once, maybe 3 times in in 2 quarters. I just don't see him getting it two,
Really?
three times in one quarter. I believe that Baltimore is going to utilize that clock and keep Mahomes out the game. Going to
Well,
run the ball, short plays, first downs, and I see them possessing that ball about 8 minutes in each quarter,
well,
give or take.
Petey said the Ravens gonna smash the Chiefs.
Hey,
Uh,
Pete, you know what's happening?
Yeah. Well, when y'all see a 49ers and Chiefs Super Bowl, we gonna come back to this conversation.
So I mean, so you want to play the Chiefs? You want the or you scared of Baltimore? I mean, so you
I
want to
don't,
play the Chiefs?
I don't care which one we play. We hungry.
Which one would you rather play?
I would rather play.
KC, obviously.
I would rather play the Chiefs, and I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah,
Because either way, I win. They didn't play the Chiefs in the championship before. When I
yeah,
first played out here, SF played the Chiefs. The Chiefs won. I still was able to celebrate with my people out here.
yeah.
But I wanted
How
the
convenient.
49ers to win.
Yeah,
I cried inside because we waited so long. We need a championship. We need a ring. We faithful. We need that ring. But
yeah.
I would rather for us to play. It don't matter which one we play because both of them are two tough teams. Not gonna lie, both of them will is gonna give us a a good game. So it
Yeah.
don't matter which one we play, but I really want Patrick Mahomes to get back to the Super Bowl.
Well, we got about
And
three
I
more days,
think
three, 4 more
against
days, and
Jackson, I mean
we're
Jackson
gonna
is a
find
black
out.
quarterback. I love my black quarterbacks. He just happened to be on the wrong dang team, and he
Yeah,
gonna be there. So for me, he's a Tom Brady. You know, like, no, you're on the wrong team. But
yeah.
I'm happy to see that a lot of my black men is supporting a lot all of well you can y'all just supporting Jackson. Mahomes is a black quarterback too. Y'all get on my nerves.
No, no, it's not just because Nah. Well, I know for
Who
myself,
do you
I
think is the best quarterback?
Lamar Jackson.
You really do?
Yeah, I really think he's the best quarterback in the league right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I
really
really
take
do.
I really take because you don't have a team. You just love the sport and
I
you love
love it.
the best players. You know, you can just about tell who's playing good and who's not. One thing I do know is going to be a good game. I'm going with KC and I'm definitely going with SF.
Yeah, like I said, I just see a maturity and focus. Like his maturity level to me is just off the hook. In the face of all the adversity that he faces. He's a dark skinned brother. He come out there. He got these cornrow things in his hair. And
Or
they underestimate him. But he's delivering. He's better himself every
he's
year.
really
Every
good.
year they've given him this new contract,
Yeah.
and I believe he's
His
taking all
mother,
distractions. He
his
did an
mother
interview
negotiated that contract, Adrian. His
and
mother
he
negotiated that.
negotiated it himself. He did an interview, which he rarely does, and they couldn't fluster him. They couldn't, throw him off his game, and that take maturity, and the ability to be the bigger person, the bigger man, a human being in that situation,
Right.
and to completely focus on what he has to do and not let those things distract him. And he got a great team behind him. Offense, special teams are playing hella good. The defense is playing hella good, and I just don't see nobody throwing him off his square.
Well, it's gonna be good next week. I just, we think differently. I think
Yeah,
he have all of that, but I don't think he's ready for the ring. I don't think he have that experience. I don't think his team is gonna take him there. And he dang showed and already showed that he can't do it by himself. So I think there's gonna be some cracks and some holes. And I think as soon as Andy read them, he gonna crawl through them. And I think that's what's gonna beat them is the coaching decisions versus the talent on the field. That's just my opinion. Just my opinion. But let's get up out of here, Adrian. Yeah, we did pretty good today. We talked a little bit about everything, covered a little everything. But we'll be back here. If y'all don't know, let me just announce it. First of all, if you haven't already, go to our YouTube, subscribe, share,
Like,
like, do all
yeah,
of that good
support
stuff
it, support
so
it.
we can keep the content going,
Yeah,
and coming and coming and coming. We'll be back next week. We're going to talk about black business. We're going to talk about black pay wage and the Hollywood industry as well. We're going to have my good friend on here, Titus Golden,
Titus.
Casey police officer. He's gonna join us tomorrow. He hit me up and like, when you gonna have me on the show? I'm like, okay, well, you gonna join us then next week. So we're
Come
gonna
on
talk
in. Come
about him
on
and his
in.
new business that he got going on, and he's being successful and all of that. And so we're just gonna keep moving, Adrian. I'm gonna send you some stuff, okay?
I look forward to it, man.
All right, give it up to our chat liners. Came through. What's and all of our viewers out there, until next time, Hootie Who's Finest Talk Show. Share, subscribe, like our content. We will see you next week. And we are
Hoo-dee-hoo!
Woo!
All right, everybody.
Okay.